there's this problem when people get out of prison, almost 3/4 of them go back within 5 years, right? That's the stats.
Look, when we come out of prison, we're broken. I'm a broken. I did 22 out of 25 years. I'm broke, man. I don't know nothing other than what I've been doing for the last 30-something years, right? I'm so broke and I don't know how to be fixed. This is why I go back to prison 2 times in 25 years, is I get out of prison, and while I'm in prison, we all do this, right? I sit in prison and I look at magazines and I watch TV shows, and I start making this grand plan, right? Of the car that I want, the house that I want, the job that I want, the girl that I want, and I got all these pictures and I'm building this whole big old thing, and then I get out of prison and the goal is to get that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I get this job, right? It's just a job. It's not a great job. It's just a job, right? I'm busting my butt. But then I get a little up there. So what happens is I get a job, and then I get a car, and then I get a girl or a place to live, right? And then I start getting comfortable. And what happens is I end up burning off, right? Because why? It's because that's what I know best. Is when everything is good, it's going to go bad. So I have to burn out before I get there.
So we went up to the Capitol, right? The whole thing was to get the 85% dropped down to 65%. They were sold on the nonviolent offenders, right? They're sold on, yeah, let's do that. That sounds great. We'd go into this room, they'd be like, look, our constituents, like, they're not going to buy into this idea of giving violent criminals a chance to get out early.
Those guys are still going to get out, but instead of having an incentive to program and to do anger management, to do this stuff, they don't have any incentive to do anything because they're going to be doing 85%.
I go into this coalition meeting. I've been to a couple of them at this point, right? And all it is like ASU professors, governors, cabinet members, congressmen, state representatives. And I'm going in these rooms and I'm telling my boys, like, how the hell are these people going to make change? They know nothing about prison. How do you change something you know nothing about? And he stands up and he starts talking about how he wrote 5 laws. These 5 laws are going to change, the recidivism. It's going to help people getting out of prison. And I look over my boy and I'm like, non-dangerous, non-repetitive, first-time offenders. I said, it doesn't change nothing, right? He said, say something to him, Garrett. So when this dude gets done speaking, I stood up and I said, let me ask you a question. I said, how many of those laws that you've changed are for guys like me? Gangbangers, STG gang members, murderers, liars, cheaters, people that have done 20, 30, 40 years. He said, none. I said, when you change people like me, that's when you change the system.
50 different artists and consigners in here. Vast majority of them are from Colorado and a lot of them are local.
I mean, it's kind of like a consignment thing, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like an antique mall. It's really cool, man. It's awesome.
Look around and let me know if you have any questions.
Yes. That's awesome,
Or
dude.
they could stay in the Stanley Hotel.
Right. In the Stanley Hotel, is that where Stephen King wrote The Shining?
That's where he was inspired. I actually have a friend from high school who he and his wife went and stayed in one of the haunted rooms. And they swear that the jewelry she laid out on the dresser had been moved in the morning.
Ooh.
Prison is a political world. It's all politics, even prison politics. I mean, we run our boys, their brother runs their boys, the Mexican Emmy run their boys, the natives run their guys, the Crips and Bloods run their guys. Every gang runs their guys, right? And it's a political world, right? And no matter who you are, and no matter where you're at in that stage, people follow you. When I left and I said I was out and I bowed out, people followed me. My guys followed me. The problem was with them, and they told me this later, was when I bowed out, they're like, finally we can quit, right? Because now he's out because they were worried about me. So when you get the head guys leaving and being done and wanting to go change the system, guess what, man? That changes the system because everybody follows them. The hierarchy is still the hierarchy, no matter what. When I'm on the streets and I'm running and gunning and I'm doing everything that I'm doing, they follow me because they know I'm in it to win it, right? And it's the same thing when I get out. When I got out and I changed my life, I was on the yard, got sober on the yard, and I told all my boys, I'm out. I said, listen, I'm done, dude. I said, I'm going to get out and I'm going to have a life. I'm gonna have a house, and I'm gonna have a job, and I'm gonna have a career, and I'm gonna have a life, and I'm gonna make better for people. And I said, and I'm gonna come back, right? And guess what? When I left, 7 of my boys walked right with me that time. And there's 11 of them out right now on the streets. They're all sober. They're all doing the most. They got companies and cars and houses and jobs, all out of the game. That's how you change recidivism. You don't change recidivism by getting a bunch of people that know nothing about it sitting in an office or a room talking about it.
Yeah.
You got legislators that are up there planning this stuff, and they don't want to change laws for violent criminals because why? They're violent criminals, but violent criminals change. I'm one of them.
That's the only answer I have for it is God.
Do you not fear that they'll come after you?
Nah, I mean, that could happen. That could easily happen. But I'm going to continue to live my life every day trying to help out any and every individual I can, white, black, brown, whatever color you are, whatever, if you're gay or if you're lesbian or whatever you are, that doesn't matter to me anymore. What matters to me in general is like being able to make this world a better freaking place.
That's the goal, man, is to get people out of prison and show them how to survive outside, right? And who better to show them, like you said, is mentors. Like, that's what I do daily. We've talked about this all weekend, right? It's like my life is dedicated to helping men and women get out of prison and show them how to stay out. You know, my Facebook is blown up, my Instagram's blown up, my phone is blown up. People calling me daily like, hey, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in that situation? Where do I go here? How does this happen? What is that? Because like they need that love, they need that understanding, they need that help, right? And the more that we give it, guess what? They're gonna give it, and then they're gonna give it, right? And I say it, and I'm in recovery, right? But I say it all the time, man. It's the greatest Ponzi scheme ever, right? Because I help somebody that's gonna help somebody that's gonna help somebody, and I'm doing it because it's helping me,
Right.
so technically it's a selfish ass thing, right? Because I'm doing it because A, I want to stay out of prison, and B, I want to be a good person, right? And I want the things that I need for me, but how do I get those things? By helping other people.
That's it.
And that's what it is, man.
The secret of life